Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are in, as the sign says, Portland, Oregon. We're starting off at the South Park blocks. About a mile in front of us is about a mile to the north is the North Park blocks. So, once again, we're at the South Park blocks. As you can see, we're in Portland, Oregon, so the grass is very green. A lot of green, which I like. I used to live in the desert in Vegas, which you don't see much green there. We got some people taking naps at the hottest part of the day. What do we got here? Of course, there's graffiti on it. The Shemansky Fountain. One of these days I'll read it. Joseph Shemansky, whoever he is. It's very warm today for Portland in April. It's about 79 degrees, which is probably 10 degrees above average for a April 14th. And here we have a interesting person taking a walk. I like these old apartment buildings they've got downtown. That's called the Roosevelt. Probably built in the 1920s, which a lot of buildings here were built around 1912 to 1925. That I think was the heyday of building around here. I like the combination of the old and the new. We'll look at some of the new. There's the Hilton. That was built in the 60s, 62, I believe. And we're going to walk to Pioneer Square, which is the living room of Portland. That's what they call it. Be careful on the steps here. Oh, spring has sprung, as you can see. Portland can be very beautiful when it's sunny out. Of course, it's cloudy about 9 months out of the year, but I kind of like both, the clouds and the rain and when it's sunny. Here we have another old apartment building right by the park. There's the Hilton over there. And we got some I gotta learn to ride one of those one of these days. I tell you, they got some serious bike riders out here. I saw a guy a couple months ago. He was sitting backwards on the front handlebars, going down a hill about 30 miles an hour. He had to turn his head to see where he was going. And it was a tremendous feat of athleticism that I could never do or never want to do, but he was doing it. Okay. What street is this? This is Southwest Park Avenue. That's why they call it the park blocks, I guess. And there's a movie theater up here that had a deal, something like, well, we'll see it, something like $20 a month to see all the movies you want. Couldn't believe it when I first read it. Apparently the movie industry is on hard times now. So there's a nice little cement park up here called Director's Park. Let's see. That's a beautiful building. That's, once again, it's the old and the new in Portland. And there's a nice little older building right there. And there's a mailman hard at work. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you. Regal Unlimited, $24.49 a month. Let me back up so I don't get run over here. Unlimited movies all day, every day. Wow, that's a pretty good deal. Of course, the popcorn, the drink, and will cost you a penny. I remember I came here about 2 months ago, and it cost me like $30, $35 to see a movie. Get a Coke and a big popcorn for $35 or something. But hell, $24.49. Now this building here used to be had a beautiful aqua blue coloring, and they got rid of it and they painted it a drab rustic brown color. I mean, I really like the older color, aqua pastel color, but I mean, it was getting old, but it still looked good. I don't know what they call that building. There's the Hilton. It was built like in the early 60s, and they added it to it. Across the street, I'll have to check it out. Oh God, I gotta get out of the street here. De La Salle North Catholic High School, I never heard of that. Regal Fox Tower. Here's what I like is a chessboard right in the sidewalk here. I play a little chess. They don't have the pieces out. They probably got stolen, but they used to have big chess pieces. You could play chess right on the sidewalk here. So this is called Director's Park. Underneath this is a parking structure. They made it decent looking here than it used to be. They put up these beams here to make it look a little better. And there's the old Regal Theatre, probably built around 1920. Of course, Portland is big dog lovers here in Portland. In the summertime, they have kids playing in that fountain. Don't drink from it though, which will probably kill you if you drink it. There's another nice little older building. I should have brought my suntan lotion. It's so Flying Elephants Delicatessen. Now here's Yamhill Street. Yamhill and Park. And there is Nordstrom's. I've been in there once or twice. I needed a scarf and I went in there. I think it was $80 for the cheapest scarf they had. The thing I hate about scarves is I tend to lose scarves. I go to a movie theater and you leave the scarf behind. I tend to lose umbrellas and scarves. But the thing about Portland is a lot of people just, if they get a little hole in their umbrella, they'll just leave it right on a stone fence or something. Give me a nice $40 umbrella, just a little pinhole of a hole, and they'll just leave it right there on the street. Same with walking canes. I've picked up 2 walking canes that people, I guess the owner died and somebody just left it out on the street. Nice canes, probably $40 canes. So people will just leave a lot of stuff down here. They leave stuff for the homeless. Now we're going down here to what they call Portland's living room, which is Pioneer Square. I skated maybe twice in my life. When I think I was about 9 or 10 and the neighborhood got into skating for a while, so I bought a cheap pair of skates that you clip to your shoes and with a skate key. That lasted about 2 days. And I was into skateboarding for a while too. Old steel-wheeled skateboard, not like the modern plexiglass wheels they have today. Here's an interesting building with a clock on top. It's called the Jackson Tower. Now we're getting towards Pioneer Courthouse Square, which is, as I mentioned, is known as Portland's living room. A lot of people used to hang out here. It's not as busy as it used to be, but that used to be a famous department store, Meyer and Frank. There's the Starbucks. And there's the square, and there's the Max, the electric train, they call it the Max. And there's the old Pioneer Courthouse. They spent about $40 million to earthquake-proof that building. Oh, we're gonna take you to see Umbrella Man. Famous Portland statue. I'm surprised it's still here. It hadn't been torn apart in the riot. I think he's hailing a cab. It's a famous statue here in Portland. I never knew he had a red tie. It looks like somebody, I think somebody painted that. I don't remember that being red. Umbrella man hailing a cab. It's a nice little square here. I'll show you one more thing over here, and then maybe I'll get a cup of coffee or something. Looking for a handout, the pigeon. See, Portland isn't as torn up as the national media makes it out to be. It's actually a beautiful downtown down here. Oh, there's little pockets of homelessness, but the majority is a pretty nice place. There's a real nice little lounge up there called that's the Nines Hotel now. They made it into a hotel. And there's the electric train again. It's called the Max. I'll do one more thing and then maybe get something to drink. I hate stairs, especially since I weigh a lot more than I used to. Now these bricks, you can buy a brick and they print your name on it. I don't forget how much it costs, but Barbara and John Cornell, August Clutson. Now here's something a little interesting. All right, this is an echo chamber here. I'm gonna count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in the echo chamber now. Can you hear it? Something about bouncing off the brick walls. Now I'll count to 5 and walk away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count to 6. They have been making these Macs a lot more colorful lately. I don't know, they're doing a good job painting them. Used to be free downtown, but they made you pay for them about 2 years ago. So I'll cut it off here and grab something to drink.